Okay, so today we're gonna talk about learning psychologies, and I have these three guests here: Cameron, Julian, and Rocio. They are all graduated from at ISU. And well, first we're going to start just introducing ourselves and like the context where we teach, just to have like a little, just to give the audience a little information about us. So let's start with Rocio.
Okay, so my name is Rosie Cano. I currently teach high school. I teach Spanish in high school, and I've been a teacher for over 7 years, but teaching online and everything since the pandemic.
Okay, thank you. I would go with Julian.
So hi everybody. Can you hi? Okay. So I'm right now a PhD student at Illinois State University, and I right now teach composition, two sections of a composition first year composition course, and I also teach online. I've been teaching for like 5-6 years now, and I've been teaching online foreign languages, Spanish, English, and Basque since pretty much the pandemic. So a little bit more than a year and a half ago.
Okay, Cameron.
And my name's Gabriel. I currently teach two classes at uh, Illinois State, two introductory level Spanish classes, Spanish 112. Spanish 111 is the lowest, Spanish 112 is the next class, that's one up from that. I teach two there, and then I teach two at Illinois Wesleyan University as well. I've been teaching since a little bit before the pandemic, so for 2 or 3 years.
All right, thank you. Well, it is well known by all of you that because of the pandemic, we have had some unexpected benefits of remote learning that parents agree and some parents disagree. And well, some families want to continue this format as it represents uh, a good help for children, for example, with autism, and it represents flexibility in terms, of daily challenges that some families have, and also these unexpected benefits that we have also can be can be like the other side of the coin. We would say is that we also have had some challenges when we teach online. uh, I would like to ask, like you in general, like what have been the challenges over teaching in this format, and how have you overcome these challenges? Anyone can start.
Yeah, I can start.
Thank
So
you.
first of all, I'd say that the main challenge when it comes to teaching online is that I had to learn how to use all these platforms that I use now. So now, like, I've created complete lessons in all of them, and I've created like a system in which they intertwine, and I use all of them, and students benefit from all of them. But at the beginning, it was pretty complicated to learn how to use every single one of them, and also apply every single one of them properly to the class. So, for instance, I use now Nearpod, I use Perusal, I use Padlet, I've learned how to use Google Meet, I've learned how to use Zoom, I've learned how to use Microsoft like Teams, and like these last three applications are just for like for like the chatting purposes, and then the other ones that I mentioned are like to create lessons and give students some like provide them with materials and videos and anything we do that like if we were not in an online situation, we would do all that in class using perhaps some slide presentations or something like that. But since I'm teaching online right now, or since I've been teaching online, so I'm like I have to use all of those,
All
and
right.
learning how to use them, it has been was like a big challenge, I guess.
Okay, thank you, Julian. And now you
Yeah.
mentioned something like Zoom, right? And the something that I have that we have checked in learning ecologies today is that uh, there is an excessive use of screens, or there was an excessive use of screens, right? And that created, some phenomenon that we could call Zoom fatigue. And how did you deal with that, Rocio? Now you were going to say something, but I would like that you think about that. Like, how did you deal with this excessive amount of screen? If you had the opportunity of teaching this kind of
Mhm.
class.
So in regards to the platforms that I used to use Zoom when I was teaching at the University of Illinois. But in the school I work right now, we use Teams for meetings with students. Um, because they can create like you can create like a channel for the specific course you're having a meeting with. Um, Apart from that, to work, I also I mean like every institution has their own platform. So at Illinois, we were using Reginet to upload materials for students, whereas here I use Canvas. I just can create modules or assignments there. To avoid excessive use of screens, I have students print materials when they're at home.
Mhm.
But if they are in class, because in the school here, I had like both kind of students, like students who were faced like in the classroom and some others that were at home. So I had to like teach both at the same time. And for the ones who were at home, I would ask them to print the materials and work on paper a little bit. Mhm.
Okay, and I heard that, Cameron, you mentioned that you are a language teacher, right? And considering that people have saying that although video have connected people in some way in this pandemic, right? We still consider that it cannot be compared, or it doesn't replace human connection, and that is definitely something that we have that we all have seen. Um, and this makes me wonder about like the interactions that you normally have in a regular class, and how you deal with these interactions now in a Zoom class, right?
Yeah. So during uh, part of the pandemic, if you will, with Zoom classes, when I was teaching my introductory Spanish level classes at Illinois State, um, you have the breakout rooms. Uh, but first of all, we received a license from Illinois State for the Zoom application, so we uh, are not forced to use Zoom necessarily, but would almost forced to use Zoom. It's that's what most universities are using. And within Zoom, you have the breakout room. So with regards, going back to what your question, with regards to group work and human connection, human interaction, um, you can divide your class into breakout rooms to do different activities and exercises. Uh, but again, like you said, when you do more complex tasks, uh, which involve groups working together, uh, changing partners, interacting with teacher, interacting with different people, almost simultaneously, without having a direct interaction in person. It's almost impossible to complete some types of tasks. So I think that I get asked questions from my friends and um, coworkers and others about teaching and teaching online versus teaching in the classroom, and that's what I tell them, that the breakout rooms, for example, can only go so far. So you're never going to, in my opinion, uh, get that human interaction and connection necessary to complete all of the things that you will complete in a traditional classroom.
Yeah, that is definitely was a challenge, and now
But
I guess
uh,
that, yeah, sorry,
sorry,
see.
something that I find beneficial from Zoom and the breakout rooms is that you can as a teacher, going to different breakout rooms to monitor students' work and to see how they're doing and everything. I think that's helpful for online classes.